Today's video is brought to you by Beautiful Halo. Thank you so much for sponsoring me, first of all. And if you guys would like some good quality anime merch, you can go to Beautiful Halo, link in the description below. And on your next $49 plus order, you can get 5% off with the code MEME. And if it's $99 plus, you can get 10% off with the same code MEME, M-I-M-E. Let's get right into the video. Welcome back, guys. This is the King of Weebs here, and this is what if Naruto was in the Anbu part 2. Last time I completely forgot to shout out the Anime X, not the Anime X. This series was taken by him. I've asked him in the past to actually make the series. I got permission from him when I first made the series, and just saying, this is a remake for all the new subscribers, because when I made this I really had a pretty small following compared to nowadays. I wouldn't say small. 500, 600 is still a lot, but anywho, last time we left off with Naruto and Team 7, and also Tsuki and Tarzan going to the land of waves, to find, to actually go and escort the bridge builder to build the bridge. But of course, on the way, they realized, of course, Naruto and Tsuki weren't walking with them. Remember, they're not working with them or anything. They're actually around them. And of course, once the two demon brothers appear, of course, Tsuki actually notices this, and she was actually about to go help Team 7. But of course, then Naruto actually stopped it, saying that no, they should do this on their own. They're a team, and of course, they're Chunin ranked shinobi, and so it shouldn't be easy for Team 7 to beat them, especially because they're Chunin, and Tsuki's like, they're Chunin. We shouldn't allow Genin to go up against Chunins like that. And basically, Naruto's like, just wait and see. And of course, Sakura actually, takes the lead and actually punches the ground. And, Sai actually creates, giants to protect them, surrounding them. And basically, Sasuke took them out. And of course, then Kakashi asked them who they were after, who sent them, and why. And, they were sent by Gato to get Tarzan, and the reason is to actually kill him. Of course, because he doesn't want the bridge to be built, or Tarzan wouldn't get as much money. He wouldn't make as much money as he does right now. Anywho, Tsuki was actually really impressed by Team 7. Naruto's like, I told you, these kids are much stronger than what we think they are. And of course, then Tsuki says they're our own age, Naruto. And Naruto's like, listen, shush, I want to act a bit older. Anywho, of course, Naruto knows that they're the same age, but he can't just, he just can't stop calling them kids for some reason. But anywho, now, of course, Team 7 actually, still goes off and actually, they convince Kakashi to go on the mission. And Kakashi still says that, if any higher ranked shinobi than Chunin, or a really high ranked Chunin, comes, he will take them on, because he doesn't want his team to get killed, especially on the first C ranked mission. Of course, this mission was not a C ranked mission. This was either B or even an A rank, depending on what could come up. Anywho, of course, now Team 7 actually kept walking on until they actually noticed that they were surrounded by fog. Of course, then Sasuke activates his Chitomoe Sharingan, and then Tsuki actually can't really see, so she activates a free Tomoe Sharingan, and Naruto's like, what can you see? And basically Tsuki then realizes that there is someone in the bushes. Remember, Naruto, of course, actually felt someone, but he didn't know who he was, because he doesn't actually know about Zabuza's existence pretty much, but still. Anywho, well, he doesn't know who Zabuza is, but he doesn't know of his existence there, and he's like, must be another Chunin, because Zabuza was actually hiding his presence. But now he threw his sword, and then Kakashi told everyone to duck down. And anywho, after this, Zabuza appeared, and Kakashi started taking him on. Of course, now Naruto actually got worried about Team 7, and so he actually decided to tell Tsuki that they have to protect them. And so, they actually go down there themselves and say, okay, You guys stay behind us in case Zabuza has any subordinates. We'll take them on, especially because we don't think, Zabuza would have any subordinates underneath the rank of Jonin. And of course, that's true. His only subordinate was actually Haku, and he's pretty much Jonin level. And come on, Haku is super overpowered. If you gave him the time and experience, even more experience than what he already had, Haku could have easily been just as strong as Kimimaro, to be honest. Anywho, now Naruto and Tsuki actually decide to go on. I mean, not sorry. Kakashi actually decides to go on and try to kill Zabuza, but of course in the end slips. And here Naruto is actually the one to take action, and he actually stops Zabuza from imprisoning Kakashi, but actually stabbing Zabuza's hand right in his palm, to be honest, not hand. But anywho, now of course Naruto wasn't gonna allow him to take Kakashi, and if Kakashi's gone, this team is pretty much done for, and of course they'll have to take on the mission, and so he had to save him. And Tsuki's like, wait, what? How was Naruto so fast? That was even faster than I could keep up with my Sharingan. And of course, Naruto was actually a lot stronger. Tsuki and Naruto have been training together for years now, but of course, Naruto has been hiding some powers from her. And of course, now Naruto saves Kakashi, and Kakashi tries to kill Zabuza, but as he was about to kill him, Zabuza gets taken out by Haku, and Haku now says that he's an Anbu, and Naruto and Tsuki was suspicious of this, but they saw that Kakashi was injured already, and he was tired, especially because of using the Sharingan. And of course now they couldn't just leave this team with their Jonin team leader in this state, and so they had to take them with them. Of course, in the original it didn't really matter, but here it does, because Naruto and Tsuki were told that they have to look after this team, they have to look after Sasuke Uchiha. That is their main priority, and so they cannot allow any harm to come their way. Anywho, now Naruto and Tsuki take them to Tasuna's home, because Tasuna leads them there. And yeah, of course now Naruto and Tsuki actually go on their own ways. Tsuki needed to train on something on their own, same as Naruto, who was actually trying to fully master the flying Raijin now. And he really didn't have the time to spend with Tsuki right now, especially because this mission came to a slight turn in events. They weren't really expecting Zabuza, one of the 7 ninja swordsmen, to appear out of nowhere and make this mission into an A-ranked mission. But anywho, here Naruto exhausts himself to a point where he can't really move anymore. I remember Naruto does still train, just like Danzo taught him. Of course, Shisui said that not to train like this, but of course Naruto sees that he actually makes a bit more progress than how Shisui taught him. But anyway, of course he still keeps in mind not to fully exhaust his chakra, or one day he will actually die. But anyway, he just kept enough, and he was just resting now. But of course still meets Haku, and Haku still gives him the speech about if you have a precious one, you will always get stronger and everything. And anyway, and here Naruto, of course, he has special ones. For example, Tsuki, and yeah. Anyway, Naruto always wants to protect Tsuki at all costs, and Naruto knows that Tsuki can protect herself, but he still wants to protect her most of the times, especially because you never know. They are Anbu, and they could die at any moment, and especially because they are ninjas, they could get killed. Anyway, after a while, Haku leaves, and Naruto just keeps, Haku leaves, and Naruto just keeps sleeping, and, well, he actually fell asleep after Haku went, and yeah, of course, then he got woken up by Tsuki, who, of course, Tsuki was didn't see Naruto, didn't hear from Naruto in a week, and so she actually missed him and everything, and so she actually came to find him, and of course, in the end, she finds him here, sleeping on the ground, and of course, after waking him up, now Naruto, of course, actually decides to go to Tazuna's home, since he hasn't been there in a week or so. And anywho, now of course Naruto and Tsuki talk to each other, and they ask of what kind of training they did, and how they've improved and what else they learned during this time. And of course, Naruto tells her that he's actually mastered the you know he's actually mastered the flying Raijin, and of course Tsuki was ecstatic about it. Of course, then Naruto asked, "What did Tsuki learn?" And then Tsuki said that she actually fully, she fully has now. She fully has now. She fully has the, armored Susanoo, the actual armored Susanoo, not just that one with the rib cage, the skeleton looking one, the actual armored, fully armored one, just like Itachi's one. Itachi never had the purple Susanoo, so we all know how Itachi's armored Susanoo looks. Anywho, now, of course, Naruto congratulated her too, and yeah. Now after this, Team 7 headed out the next day. Naruto actually woke up late. Tsuki this time she actually went off on her own because she knew that Naruto could take care of himself. And anywho, Naruto, woke up late and of course still hears, Inari and his mother scream because they're in danger. And yeah, Naruto then came out of nowhere to actually protect them and actually killed the two men and told them to go to the village now because it's too dangerous here. They don't know what could happen, and so they actually listened to Naruto's instructions, and they actually went to the village while Naruto headed to the battlefield. Of course, here Naruto arrived to see that Sasuke and Sai were actually fighting Haku. Of course, Naruto doesn't know who Haku is, but of course he can see the mask figure, and so he can see that they were fighting him, and so Naruto and Tsuki were watching them. Of course, Haku was way too strong for Sasuke and Sai, but Haku realized that Sasuke could be a threat, especially because he has the two Tomoe Sharingan, and he doesn't want he doesn't want him to actually get to Zabuza and hurt Zabuza in case in case he actually awakens the free Tomoe somehow, and the free Tomoe being OP as hell. Anywho, now Naruto actually decided to Naruto actually decides to go and help them, but then Tsuki says, "Wait, let's just wait." Yeah, and basically Naruto then actually sees Haku about to throw Senmon at, Sasuke, and Naruto then actually comes in the way and and teleports the two away, and of course they don't get hit. Then Naruto then says that he'll be taking them on. You don't know what could happen here, and of course Sasuke, actually decides to help him out, saying that I'll back you up, and basically Naruto's like, thanks, but it's not gonna be needed. And of course then Naruto actually throws a kunai at Haku, which Haku thinks is just a normal kunai, and he thought that it was just body flicker that actually saved them from his Asuma Jutsu, and Naruto's just really good with it. But of course it's not body flicker, that was actually the flying Raijin. Naruto actually threw a kunai in there. Of course Haku didn't notice that because he wasn't really paying attention to any kunais falling, and plus he was too busy trying to throw his own Senbone. And anywho, now Naruto and Tsuki well, Naruto was actually about to fight Haku, but then Tsuki says, "Let me fight. You've already showed a bit of your skills." And of course, then Naruto's like, "Go ahead." And of course, here Naruto actually, after Tsuki beats Haku, sees that who Haku is, and basically Naruto says, "Wait, Tsuki." And of course, as he says that, of course, then Haku. Says why, and basically Naruto then sees that Zabuza was about to get annihilated. Naruto actually sees that Zabuza was about to get killed, and so he throws a kunai, which then he teleports to, and actually stops Kakashi from killing Zabuza. And then basically Naruto says that these two could be good recruits for the Anbu, especially because Zabuza is known as the silent killer, and Haku is really good at stealth, since even they didn't notice him last time when Haku actually saved Zabuza. And anywho, now, of course, Naruto and Tsuki looked at each other, and basically Tsuki was really confused on why Naruto would do this, since Haku is an enemy. But of course, then Naruto explains that Haku was this is his friend. He met him during his training, and yeah, of course, Tsuki was like, oh, you met her through your training, and of course, at first, Tsuki thought that Haku was a girl, but then Naruto's like, him, not her, him. Anywho, of course, Tsuki's that, oh, it's you're a guy, and of course, Haku just smiles, nervously, because Tsuki is pretty strong. She annihilated Haku easily without any, without breaking too much of a sweat. And yeah, of course, that is only because Tsuki is a prodigy, and Haku, I know he has the Kekken Genkai, but he's not too overpowered. He needs more training. Anywho. And plus, Zabuza is not the best trainer for Haku, especially because Zabuza has has no experience with ice release, even though he has experience with water release. Of course, that helped him out, but still, of course, now Naruto, actually asked Haku if he wanted to join the Anbu in the village, and of course, Anywho, of course, Zabuza and Haku return to the Leaf Village, and Zabuza actually accepts, especially because, he can see that Naruto and Tsuki are two different levels of fighters, and plus, Kakashi is already way too strong for him to fight, and so he doesn't really want to die yet, and so he actually accepts, and plus, he could actually, since he can actually become part of the Anbu, it's better for him, especially because he is already pretty strong as he is, and he can make a bigger name out of himself for being an Anbu member of the Leaf, and annihilating shinobi all around the village, all around the world. And anywho, now Naruto and Tsuki return to the village, and they're given a new mission, of course, not to just look after team Sasuke Uchiha, but also to surveil the forest of death, part of the Chunin exams, especially because they don't know what could happen. They don't want ninjas from the Leaf to die, and of course they're going to have to stop any suspicious behavior. Anywho, Haku was actually sent to the Anbu, just like Naruto and Tsuki wanted, while well, FBI opened up, and they broke in. They saw me that I was about to fail NNN in that, and man was about to do the forbidden and fail it, but man didn't fail in that. You see, man just had to take a break in that. Man, I didn't fail. Anywho, Haki joined the Anbu, and Zabuza actually became a Jonin for the village instead of actually becoming an Anbu. Even though he was a silent killer, of course, it would have been better if he was in the Anbu, but it doesn't matter right now. Anywho, after this, Naruto and now Naruto, after a while, actually, since he mastered the flying dragon, he really doesn't need to train in it anymore. But anywho, of course, he's actually just been doing missions now, and Tsuki has actually been separated from Naruto. She's doing her own missions now. Naruto will be the only one surveilling Team 7 for now until the Chunin exams, and of course that kind of saddened Naruto, but it doesn't really matter. They do live in the same flat. Anywho, now of course Naruto and Tsuki meet up the day before the Chunin exam begin, and yeah, of course the Chunin exam begin as per normal, and yeah, after a while they actually begin the second part of the exam where Naruto and Tsuki are actually meant to be working in. Anywho, of course Naruto and Tsuki sneak into the exam, and the Hokage actually knows about them actually being there to surveil the the Genin in case they go rampage and they kill each other. But anyway, of course, they actually had to sneak in because they didn't want to get seen by the Genin. And anyway, after this, Naruto and Tsuki were actually making clones and just surveilling all the teams from afar, and nothing too suspicious happened until Team 7 got attacked. Of course, Team 7 got attacked, and Naruto sees this, and he realizes that this one's actually pretty strong. This Genin is much stronger than, any other Genin that he's seen in the fight right now. And of course, he doesn't know this is Orochimaru. He's never met Orochimaru or anything, so he can't really tell. Anywho, of course, Orochimaru bites Sasuke, and this is where Naruto actually decides to, come in. And of course, as an Anbu, he's not actually showing his face, and he's actually, he got his mask on, and he actually changed his voice with this chakra, telling them to actually run, to leave this place and go somewhere else. And of course, then the two listen and they actually go away. Sai and Sakura take Sasuke, and now Naruto actually takes care of Orochimaru by actually annihilating him. Orochimaru sees how strong Naruto is and actually escapes. He realized that this Anbu kid is too strong, and of course, while he was actually trying to escape, Naruto actually Rasengan him in the torso, and of course Orochimaru went flying, and this is where he took his opportunity to actually reverse summoning jutsu himself somewhere else. Anywho, after a while, the Chunin, well, of course, Naruto and Tsuki, since they were working for a few days, they actually realized that they needed a rest, especially because the Forest of Death the Forest of Death part actually finished, and now they're actually going to take their rest until the finals, where they're going to be surveilling they're going to be the guards of the Hokage. And anywho, now of course Naruto and Tsuki rests for a full month, and of course Naruto actually comes to meet Jiraiya as per normal. Since Naruto was actually on his day off, he actually met Jiraiya, and in the end he actually took a full month off of the Anbu, and then actually Tsuki joined Naruto and Jiraiya, and of course they both learned the summoning jutsu, and yeah. Now of course Naruto and Tsuki became Jiraiya students, and everything went as per normal until the day of the Chunin exams. Naruto and Tsuki were actually next to Hokage surveilling him, and Orochimaru realized that the kid that annihilated him was actually there, and yeah. Anywho, that didn't really matter to him now, and so the two were actually watching the Chunin exams, especially Sai and Neji's fight, and Sai was actually able to come out victorious. Sorry. I didn't cover the preliminaries here. Everything went the same, other than Neji's fight. He got the double knockout. Sorry, Sakura is much stronger here, remember, and so she was able to annihilate. Anywho, now of course, losing Sakura would be in the finals, instead of Naruto and Neji, and Naruto's place was taken by Sai. And anywho, after this, the fight against Sai and Sakura actually began, and that fight kind of went bad, especially because there was way too much destruction during this fight. Sai and Sakura really had no mercy for each other. Even though they were teammates, they both were thirsty for this win. And yeah, now, of course, Naruto watching this fight, Sakura was actually, punching through every single one of her, Sai's monsters, or giants that he created with his Super Beast Scroll. And he could see, how kind of OP Sakura is, but still, and in the end, Sakura prevailed by actually getting a strong punch into, Sai, which actually knocked him out. And yeah, because Sai, he can't really keep drawing forever. He was actually beaten, and Sakura actually won. Anywho, of course, the next fight should have been Sasuke's, but Sasuke didn't arrive in time, and so they prolonged it. Anywho, they postponed it, not prolonged it. Postponed it, and Shikamaru's fight went on as per normal, and Naruto saw that Shikamaru was actually really strong, and he asked if Tsuki knew him, and Tsuki's like, yeah, he's one of my friends, and he's really smart, to be honest. And Naruto's like, I can see that. Look how he outsmarted her. And then now, of course, that fight was over, and Shino's fight was won by Shino because Kankura actually gave up, and yeah. Now, of course, Naruto you know, well, then was actually worried what happened to Sasuke, but then, after getting bitten and everything, but then in the end, Sasuke appeared with, Kakashi, and the fight began. Of course, the fight went as per normal here, and in the well, even though Sasuke was a bit stronger, he was able to put up a better fight against the Gaara, but it just pissed him off even further. So it was kind of a win loss situation. So the Leaf was just losing out, but still. Anywho, after this, Naruto and the rest actually realized that this is an attack, because they kind of made it public that they were attacking the Leaf Village, and of course Naruto was like, I need to protect the Hokage, but then after Tsuki sees that the Jinchuriki of the One Tails was taken by its hit the I mean, sorry, Gaara was taken by his siblings to somewhere else for him to transform, and so Tsuki actually, pushed Naruto away, into the stadium, and Naruto's like, but why? And of course they got Tsuki and the Hokage were trapped in the in that in the roof, not on the roof. Sorry, my English just went to uh crap. Anywho, now of course Naruto was like, just why? And basically Tsuki says, go get Sasuke, he's in danger. And of course Naruto understood that Sasuke was in danger, but of course he's meant to be protecting the Hokage. But anywho, after this, of course the Leaf is getting attacked right now, and so Haku and Zabuza are actually helping out in protecting the Leaf Village from the sound and sand thing, shinobi. And anywho, of course Naruto caught up to Shikamaru, Saya, and Sakura in the end, and saw that Sakura got annihilated by Gaara, same as Sasuke, and so he actually took on he actually saved both the two Genin, and of course he took on Gaara himself. Gaara wasn't going to be too much of a deal for Naruto, especially because Naruto could take on Gaara easily by actually summoning Gamabunta, but of course Naruto, being a bit cocky, actually puts a bit more up on stake. He actually believes that he can beat Gaara, the Jinchuriki of the One Tails, of course transforming into the freaking One Tails, without actually even summoning Gamabunta, and he can beat him himself. But of course Naruto probably could. Anywho, now of course the fight began against these two, and Naruto came to find out about Gaara's true past, and so in the end he actually still gave Gaara the same Taka no Jutsu, saying that people looked at him in a bad way too when he was a kid, but then he actually met people that actually didn't hate him, and now he has a few friends, not too many. He still doesn't have many, and he asks Gaara if he wants to become one of his first ever friends, and he'll become his first ever friend. And Gaara accepts, and in the end he was beaten, and Naruto used a lot of uh, of his flying Raijin, which actually exhausted him, and they both fell to the ground. Anywho, of course after this Naruto and Gaara were retrieved. Naruto was on the ground with his master actually destroyed by Gaara or Shukaku. And anywho, now of course the Hokage never died here, because Tsuki, in the end, she was actually able to use her Susanoo to actually protect the Hokage, and actually, destroy Orochimaru. And Orochimaru could have took her on easily, especially because she couldn't keep the Susanoo for too long, not more than a minute. And in the end, and that was what she was actually training on her own during the Land of Ways art, actually being able to keep the using the Susanoo for a longer period of time, and of course having the armored Susanoo. Anywho, now after this, the Hokage, since he never died, he himself asked Jiraiya to become the fifth Hokage, but Jiraiya still declined, saying that he knows perfectly that Tsunade is a much better fit, and so he promises him that he'll bring back Tsunade within a few weeks. And so the first Hokage was waiting, and he actually took Naruto, just Naruto here, to find Tsunade. And in the end, Jiraiya actually asked Danzo, and Danzo's like, alright, if the Hokage said so, I'll allow it this time, but never again, Jiraiya. And of course Jiraiya's thank you, and then he leaves back chatting about Danzo, saying that old prick every time, so shady. Anywho, of course Naruto's like anywho, so why did you want me to come to this mission? And of course Jiraiya explained, and just saying Tsuki couldn't come because she was actually injured from the fight against Orochimaru. Remember, the fight against Orochimaru was a bit harder than the fight against Gaara, especially because Orochimaru is, I'm pretty sure, much freaking stronger than Gaara or the One Tails, especially because Orochimaru was able to keep up with the Full Tails Naruto, the Full Tails Naruto in the original in Shippuden, and Orochimaru had a weaker body while Naruto trained for 2 years and a half, so he had an even stronger body than what he had before when he beat Gaara. And just saying, Orochimaru had a weaker body. I'm pretty sure we all know that. I remember when he actually, since he couldn't recover his arms, he had to switch bodies, which made his strength weakened. That's why he was actually weaker than Sasuke. But anywho, now of course Naruto finds Tsunade, and just saying, Naruto still got attacked by the and of course same as Kakashi, he's still in the coma, and Naruto still got attacked by the two Akatsuki members. And Naruto this time, he was prepared to fight anything, and so he actually fought Itachi and Kisame. He fought Kisame mostly because Itachi was actually taking care of Sasuke, while Naruto tried to get rid of Kisame. But in the end, he was actually able to take one of Kisame's arms, which pissed off Kisame a lot, to be honest, especially since he went on to actually slash Naruto in the chest, and in the end they actually escaped because of Jiraiya returning, and of course and plus Might Guy coming, and yeah, so they retreated and they left Naruto alone to survive another day. Anywho, of course Sasuke was taken back by what's his name again? What's his name? I'm joking. Of course I know his name. Guy, and of course Naruto and Naruto and Jiraiya thank him for taking Sasuke back. And anywho, now Jiraiya asks what happened, why is he bleeding, and of course he was able to heal Naruto. Well, he wasn't actually healing Naruto, but Naruto got healed at a hospital nearby. And anywho, now they actually, a few days later, they actually came to find where Tsunade was, and yeah, after this, the Naruto and Jiraiya asked Tsunade to return to the village, and of course Tsunade at first declines, but then Naruto, got pretty pissed that she badmouthed the old Kage, and so they actually began a little quarrel, saying, fighting over that. Tsunade called the Hokage fools, while Naruto thought that they were legends and everything, and so a fight broke out, and so Naruto and Tsunade decided to go all out against each other, and so Naruto actually used the Rasengan, which Jiraiya was actually surprised when he found out that Naruto knew it, but then he actually told Naruto that this is an unfinished jutsu, and he knows how Naruto knows it because he saw it in the Scroll of Sealings. And just saying, now Naruto actually was training himself into mastering the new Rasengan, actually adding lightning release to it, and he was actually trying to create a new vanishing Rasengan, even though he doesn't know that the Rasengan will vanish, but still. Anywho, Naruto keeps training, and anywho, of course the fight goes on for a while until Naruto was actually able to teleport behind Tsunade, and this completely baffled her, and she's like, what? That was no body flicker. And of course that was no body flicker, that was actually the flying Raijin. And Naruto's like, yeah, but you're wondering what that was. That was one of the four Hokage's techniques. If he really was a fool, why was I able to beat you with his technique? And as he says that, he actually was able to kick Tsunade in the chest, and basically, not chest, on her back, and he actually teleported in front of Tsunade, and had a kunai to her neck and said, you understand now. the Kage weren't fools. In fact, they were heroes. You don't understand, do you? And of course, now Tsunade actually sees that Naruto, the Naruto really does. He doesn't really want to become Hokage, but of course, from what Tsunade saw, she can see, her little brother and her lover, that can rhyme in Naruto. Anywho, so she actually decided to return to the village, and the fifth Hokage was announced. And anywho, now Sasuke still got pretty pissed off that Itachi was after Naruto and not him. And then now you know Sasuke, Naruto actually came to say hello to Sasuke, since it's his fault that Sasuke got hurt. He couldn't protect him, and then Sasuke says, "Sharp, fight me, Naruto." And Naruto's like, "Wait, what? You good, bro? I did nothing." And basically, Sasuke kept insisting in fighting Naruto, and Naruto's like, "All right then, you really want to fight?" And remember, Naruto's not as he's, even though Sasuke is injured, Naruto will put Sasuke in his place. Sasuke is being kind of a brat right now, and Naruto's in the Anbu, so he will have no mercy. Of course, he will have mercy. He won't kill him, but still, he will put him in his place. And of course, the fight begins on the roof, and in the end, it goes off to Naruto actually using the Rasengan, and he never even thought of ever using the Rasengan on Sasuke, but Sasuke was getting a bit close to him, and so he's like, "Nah, I'm going to put you in your place, G." Anywho, of course, as he says that, Sasuke, no, well, I mean, Kakashi arrives, and just saying, Kakashi is actually just as strong as Naruto, especially because he has been training himself, since he saw that these two kids are just as strong as him. Now he actually realized that maybe he has to train, and so he found out about his Mangekyo Sharingan after seeing Tsuki's in during the fight against the Hokage, when he actually, not the Hokage, against Orochimaru. Anywho, of course, Sasuke still gets pissed off and leaves, and in the end, Kakashi says that he'll take care of this, and Naruto's like, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go all out on him," even though he wasn't all out. And Kakashi knows that Naruto has stronger techniques up his arsenal. Anywho, of course, now Haku actually arrived after hearing that all the commotion, and he asked what happened, and Naruto said that, explained to him, and Tsuki was there, and she's like, "It's fine, Naruto, things like this happen between friends." And Naruto's like, "Yeah, I really don't want to hurt his feelings or anything." And of course, Naruto actually thinks that Sasuke is his friend, and truly they are friends. Like, Naruto thinks of him as a pretty good a rival, close to a rival, especially because other than Tsuki, Sasuke is the closest one to him, and anywho, and of course the Hokage and everyone, but anywho, and those guys don't count. Tsuki counts, but Sasuke is the closest one. But anyway, now Kakashi still gets Sasuke. He ties him up to a tree, and this little quarrel happens, and I'm going to roll it in. Thank you, Words Beyond Fiction, for this. Anywho, let me roll it in now.
What's this all about? Sorry, but I knew you wouldn't want to sit still for a lecture, so I figured I had to pin you down. Let it go. You've got to forget about revenge. What? Believe me, in this work I've met a lot of guys who feel the way you do. Trust me, for those who follow the path of revenge, it never ends well. You'll only tear yourself apart. And even if you succeed and you get your revenge, what will you have then? Nothing. Emptiness. Shut up! What makes you think you know anything about it? It's easy for you to talk. You have no idea! Easy. Just try to calm down. Maybe if I was to kill the most important people in your life, everyone who's ever meant anything, maybe then I'd listen to you. Because maybe then you'd have some idea how I feel. It's an interesting theory, but I'm afraid you're a little late to put it to the test.
Anywho, after this, Sasuke got pretty pissed off, and so he left. And in the end, he still met the Sound Four, and the Sound Four told Sasuke that he can actually gain more power if he comes to Orochimaru. And in the end, they show him the Curse Mark too, and Sasuke actually gets intrigued by this, and so he actually decides to go with them. And in the end, still Sakura gets annihilated, so, not annihilated, but you know what I mean. Sasuke says goodbye to Sakura, and you know, Sakura in the end falls to the ground. But Naruto, who was actually surveilling the village at night, actually came to see Sakura in front of the gate of the village. She fainted, and he was wondering why Sakura was there, and then he woke her up, and Sakura then told Naruto everything, and Naruto got worried, like literally he's like, nah, I can't allow Sasuke to get out of the village. And just saying, sorry, and just saying, Naruto doesn't decide to go to the Hokage or anything. He actually goes off on his own, and here it's literally a suicide mission. I know Naruto's strong and everything, but he's not some kind of OP beast. Even though he has the flying Raijin, he's not as good as Minato with it, and so he's going to have a hard time, especially against Kimimaru and the all the Sound Four. And then now the Sound Four, Naruto actually catches up to the Sound Four within a few hours, and just saying, they are pretty fast, and they're actually in Curse Mark 1 because they decided to actually go a bit faster, and so they actually went into Curse Mark 1 to go even faster than what they can already go. And now Naruto catches up within like 2-3 hours, and he tells them to come back and stop. And basically the Sound Four decide to send Jirobo there, and Naruto actually fights Jirobo. At first he actually takes this easy because he thinks that he's a bit more cocky than other people, and so he thinks that he can beat Jirobo, and no, it cannot happen. Of course, Naruto kind of gets annihilated at first, until Naruto realizes that Jirobo is actually really strong, and so he has to try against him. And so in the end, he kills off Jirobo by actually using a Rasengan, and goes off to find Sasuke again. And within an hour, and just saying, the Sound Four made an hour worth of distance between them and Naruto and Jirobo. And now Naruto catches up within an hour, and yeah, of course, then it's Tayuya's turn. And of course, Sakura actually told the Hokage by now. Now the Hokage made a team to actually go find Naruto and Sasuke, and this team was actually led by Shikamaru, but of course the Anbu sent a team of their own, which was literally Tsuki and no one else, since there was already a team after Naruto and Sasuke. Danzo actually decided to actually just send Tsuki, because he knows that Tsuki is really strong, and he believes that she can handle this. And he actually believes that Tsuki is stronger than Naruto. But of course, right now, if they were to fight, it would probably be a draw. I'm not going to say who's stronger or who's weaker. Of course, now Naruto was able to kill Tayuya off within 20 minutes, and that is a long time, especially for the Sound Four in the Curse Mark 1 state, because they were able to make so much distance that Naruto, it's a 2 hour distance. And then now Naruto actually had to go even faster by actually throwing his kunai and teleporting, and he made the 2 hour gap in an hour. And then of course, he came behind the two Sound Four remaining, and in the end he had to fight Kidomaru. And Kidomaru, Naruto really didn't know what Kidomaru's abilities were, so in the end Kidomaru was actually able to get a good 3 hits into Naruto, which actually were fatal blows. But Naruto was, since Naruto always thought that he should fight like this was his last fight, he actually believed that this could be his last fight, and so he fought like he never fought before. And even though he got penetrated in the chest 3 times by Kidomaru's ultra sonic arrows, in the end Naruto was able to still stand up again, and he's like, "Now I won't let you beat me." And as he says that, he in the end he just Rasengans Kidomaru right in the chest and kills him off. and of course Naruto now goes towards, Sasuke, and Sasuke by now woke up, and in the end Naruto had to fight, you know, Sakon and Ukon, which Naruto didn't understand any of their abilities, and Sakon and Ukon were able to, get a few good blows into Naruto, and, actually injure Naruto to a point where he actually lost most of his chakra, and he could barely move. And but remember, Naruto being Naruto, pretty much a psychopathic beast, he just stands back up and says, I'm not going to stop, I'm going to bring back Sasuke. And of course, as he says that, he actually goes off to find Sasuke, and he actually sees someone standing in a field. Of course, Naruto at first decides to ignore him, and so he just keeps going and just saying Naruto is still is not wearing his mask anymore. Not is still Naruto is not wearing his mask anymore because he got destroyed during the fighting. And anyway, now of course Naruto tries to ignore Kimimaro. He doesn't really care. He didn't know who he was, and he thought he wasn't a threat. But as he was going, Kimimaro was actually able to throw a bone, literally a bone, at Naruto, which kinda penetrated right through the gap that Naruto had in his chest. And Naruto fell to the ground, and Kimimaro actually body flickered in front of Naruto, and stepped on Naruto's chest because Naruto was already injured. And Kimimaro realized that if the whole entire Sound Four got beaten by Naruto, Naruto is a threat to Sasuke, and Orochimaru is basically father figure. And so he actually says, I'm sorry, but I cannot let you pass. I'll have to kill you here. And as he says that, he actually goes into Curse Mark 2. Well, not Curse Mark 2, Curse Mark 1, because he can see that Naruto was able to withstand all these injuries, and he believes that if he doesn't get a good blow into Naruto, Naruto may survive and actually come back and annihilate him while he's not looking. And of course, he actually tries to kill Naruto until Naruto actually teleports away. Naruto, when he actually got shot down, he actually threw a kunai sneakily, because Naruto does that, and then he teleports towards that, and basically Naruto does a massive fireball jutsu, which is heading towards Kimimaro, but Kimimaro is able to dodge it easily without any problem. Anywho, now after this, Naruto and Kimimaro begin their fight, and Kimimaro was able to annihilate Naruto. And of course, while this was all happening, Tsuki actually arrived. Of course, Tsuki then says, Naruto, go. I know you're injured, but you have to stop Sasuke. You cannot allow him to go to Orochimaru. And of course, Naruto then actually says, thank you, Tsuki. Just be careful. This was a dangerous one. And of course, Tsuki actually activates a Mangekyo, and so Kimimaro actually activates his Curse Mark 2. Of course, he's already injured. He's not a reanimation, and since he's injured, he's tired from Naruto's fight. He's actually much weaker here. And then now, Kimimaro gets annihilated by, he will get annihilated by Tsuki. But anywho, now, Naruto actually caught up with Sasuke, and in the end, they had their fight. And here, Naruto kind of gets annihilated by Sasuke, especially because Naruto really stood no chance against Sasuke in this state. Naruto couldn't even do a Rasengan properly, and in the end, Naruto still goes into his little tail beast, I'm joking, one tails form, and tries to fight Sasuke, but in the end he ends up like in the original, because Naruto, after all the injuries, he's just as strong as the Naruto in the original, which is actually pretty impressive, because Naruto in the original was actually pretty strong. But anywho, after this, Naruto gets found by Tsuki, after Tsuki actually kills Kimimaru. And yeah, of course, Tsuki brings him back, and of course on the way, she actually meets the team, and the team has seen the bodies of the Sound Four, and of course Kimimaru, but that was Tsuki, even though Naruto could have killed him easily if he had enough chakra, but of course he needed to save some chakra for the final fight, and which he failed in. And anyway, Naruto's taken back to the village, healed up by Tsunade, and of course bandaged up. And here, Jiraiya still wants to take Naruto out for 2.5 years, and so he's about to, but then Danzo Kando said, "Nah, fam, like you can't." And basically, then Tsunade tells him that Naruto shall go and then return to the Anbu after 3 years. And of course, Naruto and Jiraiya still have this conversation, which I'm going to roll in now.
Forget about Sasuke. He's gone. Sasuke went to Orochimaru of his own free will. No matter what you do, he will not change.
But Sasuke is...
Trust me, you should just forget about bringing him back. It's the tragic path of self-righteous fools.
He may mean nothing to you, pervy sage, but Sasuke is my friend!
Can you honestly call him a friend? Just look at what he's done to you.
It's...
He was destined to leave sooner or later. Don't blame yourself. Dismiss him from your mind and move on. To be a ninja, you need more than strength and jutsu. You must acquire the judgment to make the right decisions. If you want to live as a ninja, you must become smarter. This world is no place for a fool. That's the reality.
I understand. If being smarter means what you say it does, I'll remain a fool my entire life.
And that is where I'm gonna end it off. Anywho, hope you all enjoyed it. This was the King of Weebs here, and don't forget to subscribe to Miniman123, Ratreet, and my friend Hxmesh, and don't forget to follow Shokan on Instagram, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and join the Discord server. All the links are in the description below, and don't forget to get your anime merch from Beautiful Halo, link in the description below. Use my link and sign up, and then buy something if you want, and you can support the channel that way, and also get something in return since you get some good quality anime merch. And if you want 5% off on your next $49 plus order, you can use code MEME, MEME, and 10% off on your next $99 plus order with the same code MEME, MEME. And here, this was the King of Weebs here, signing out, and peace my ducklings, take care, you're dismissed, peace.